Yo, what is going on out here? Canelo Alvarez, he wants what? I know you ain't talking about me, dog. You? Huh? $200 million to fight David Benavidez. Let me repeat that. Canelo payday. You want payday? I know that. Alvarez wants $200 million to fight David Benavidez. Wow. We are in truly remarkable times. Canelo Alvarez, $200 million. Let's talk about it. Now, shout out to David Benavidez. He has been doing his thing. He has been building his resume up, fighting anybody and everybody who was available to fight, and he hasn't really been complaining too much. Now, as far as Canelo asking for $200 million, that seems a bit excessive, but you know what they say, you're only as good as you negotiate. So maybe Canelo really thinks that boxing, in the world of boxing, will pony up and give him that type of wage to fight David Benavidez. I'm a consumer. I would pay for the fight. I don't know how much they can give him. However, I just know I want to see the fight. Whatever it takes, I want to see the fight. Canelo and David Benavidez. I will say this. I find it funny that the Canelo man fans, the Chupapi Muñeños, the Cinnabons, they never seemingly call Canelo out for any of his actions, even when they look a bit extreme, like this $200 million. Initially, Canelo Alvarez said that he would do it for $150 million to $200 million. So he gave a range. Now that range is just the higher number, which is $200 million. And most people are believing that Canelo is ducking. Even people who have always sided with kind of the old media fighter, like Jim Lampley, he says Canelo's ducking. So I think Canelo's star power is going to continue to dwindle. And I've been saying this for years before anybody on my channel, because you've seen they were booing him at his very last fight versus Jaime Munguia. And the thing that even surprised me, despite me predicting these moments that Canelo was going to fall from grace and the fans weren't going to keep co-signing Canelo doing these moves that really only benefit him, the surprise to me is I didn't think the Munguia fight was bad like that. Of course, it's not the number one fight people want, which is David Benavidez. But nonetheless, I thought it was solid. It was definitely better than some of Canelo Alvarez's other offerings, like Avni Yildirim and Billy Joe Saunders and Liam Smith and Caleb Smith and fights like that. So I was surprised to see such poor feedback for the Canelo fight, to be honest, because Canelo fans have definitely had worse fights and said less about those worse fights. So to me, that just goes to show that Canelo's star power is fading by not fighting David Benavidez, because again, the Jaime Munguia was, solid. It wasn't the worst fight we've seen Canelo fight, but people were still kind of tapped out. Like, we haven't even heard the pay-per-view numbers officially come back. So I think that's a testament to the fact that Canelo has had some slippage, that Canelo has had some fall off. And that's just what I see. So there's only one real way to rectify it, and it's to fight the fights that the fans want you to fight. I mean, Canelo, he keeps saying, like, I do what I want. Nobody tells me what to do. Keep that attitude. That's fine. But that's how you'll be remembered by the fans. You have other people who win, lose, or draw. They're the people's champ, and people respect what they're doing and whatnot. But when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, he beats to the sound of his own drum, and he's not going to be dictated to, which is fine. But that's going to leave more of a entry point to other newcomers to take your spot. Like, to me, Gervonta Davis is already that dude. As long as he continues to win, People are checking for the Gervonta Davis show. And then the Canelo show is a bit played out. And I've said this for years. When it comes to Canelo, the thing that's strange is people are really acting like Canelo puts on the most entertaining fights. And for several years, at least to me, I haven't felt that to be the case. I haven't looked at a Canelo fight. It was like, this is the best fight that I've seen this year. I literally haven't. I mean, if you guys could name a fight in the last, like after the Golovkin 2 fight, anywhere after that time, like all those fights he did on DAZN, where you would honestly say that Canelo Alvarez had the best fight of that year, please let me know what that fight was. Because the Danny Jacobs fight, I was underwhelmed by that. The Caleb Plant fight was cool. I would probably say that was the best, but comparatively speaking, in terms of fight of the years, it wasn't to me that. I thought Canelo Plant was cool, but David Benavidez versus Plant was a better fight, even though it happened after. So I can't remember the last time Canelo, who is supposed to be the face of boxing to some, has even put on the best event for the year or a classic fight, an instant classic. The Munguia fight, it was what I expected. Munguia is big, he's tough, he's durable. Canelo hasn't really got a knockout maybe since Caleb Plant. And Munguia with his size would create some issues for Canelo. Canelo would be reluctant to take some of the bigger chances. So if there's an easy opening, to get the KO, he would. If not, it was going to play out like that. So I could see him KOing or going to the decision. And there were points where it looked like he could have got the KO, or maybe even a younger version of Canelo could have got the knockout, but that's not how it played out. Furthermore, when we're talking about Canelo, we have to look at the fact that Canelo Alvarez started boxing so young and turned pro at age 15. So he's had a different journey. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body, being a longtime pro like Canelo has been. So Canelo is definitely on the back half of his career, and it shows. So David Benavidez is an extremely, and I do mean extremely, dangerous fight. David Benavidez, younger, taller, bigger, to me, stronger, volume. He throws more punches than Canelo. And I used to give David Benavidez a little bit more stick for his defense, but with his height and his reach of his arms and his experience, he's not recently getting hit as much as I thought he got hit, right? He would still have to be cautious because Canelo is fast-handed, but so is David Benavidez. So to me, that's just the best fight in boxing right now. There's other good fights, but in terms of the fights that check all the boxes, sure shot action, blockbuster event, potential fight of the year with 2 names, and, Ben Brewing has a good backstory, all that. That fight ticks off all the boxes just about as good as any other fight in boxing. To me, I think it would be lucrative. It would be successful. The fans would be happy with it, but it's all on Canelo. And with him asking for $200 million, jillion, fulfillion dollars, I can't hold my breath that we're actually going to get it. And that's the sad part about boxing. Mikey Garcia versus Yuriorkis Gamboa, or just different classic fights that never happened. And now we're just left like, what happens if Riddick Bowe and Lennox rematched in the pros? What if Mike Tyson fought David Tua? What if Manny Pacquiao fought Tito Trinidad? Or what if Manny Pacquiao, what if he were to fight Edwin Valero or Mikey Garcia or Danny Garcia? I mean, it's just what if? And that's potentially what this Canelo Benavidez fight could be. But I've been telling you this for years. Canelo looks like he does not want it. And Benavidez, he's moving on and he's going to keep on trucking regardless. That's why he's at 175 now. So listen to me. Best in the business, and it's not even close.